Hi, welcome to Matt's Garage. We're back trying to chase the leaks on this Jeep TJ. Finished the front axle and rear axle. At the same time, one of my subscribers, Gearbox Garage, responded to the original leak hunt video saying, you know, it's not leaking from the center of the transmission case. It's probably blowback from the engine, saying it's usually a valve cover or a PCV valve or something like that. A PCV valve grommet. I was doubtful, but then I looked closely at the pattern of the oil kind of creeping up the transmission and the way it was kind of splashing on the belly pan, and I thought maybe he's right. So I took it to a splash and dash, got underneath, cleaned everything off as best I could with, and it's relatively high pressure, not like a pressure washer, but it's good enough with the soap and all that. So it's pretty clean down there, and then I drove it home immediately, put cardboard underneath to try to see where oil is actually leaking from. I want to get this done in the next few weeks because Mom and Papa are coming to visit for Christmas, and this is their Jeep that I take care of basically, and I'd like to get it leak free so they can drive it around without worrying. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if there's time. So let's get into it. I laid a few pieces of cardboard down, and back at the transmission it's dry, but down underneath the engine there's those two basically, right and left. So let's get underneath and see if we can figure out where those are coming from. So we've got some moisture on this exhaust crossover, these droplets, but it's not oil. So I don't know what that is. I don't know where it'd be coming from. So maybe that's just a leftover from the pressure washing, but no, it would have evaporated by now. I mean, it's kind of coolant color, but I just don't know where it's coming from. Strange. So looking at my witness board here, I think this is that leak that was under that exhaust crossover. Yeah, it's kind of sweet and bitter. Yuck. So I think that might be glycol. How in the world? It might just be traveling down the exhaust pipe from the front pump connection. I'll check that. And then this is the other one, and this looks more like and feels more like oil. Can't tell. Yeah, it looks like I'm definitely still getting leakage from the front of the oil pan gasket, which is just so annoying. And it looks like a little bit like it's not seated properly there. So I wonder if that's as simple as me loosening that up and reseating it. Do you see the split? I don't know, it's kind of hard to see if I can get there you go. Do you see right there? It looks like the lip is kicked out a little bit. I'm wondering if I were to loosen all the pan bolts enough to drop this a little and then kind of reseat it and push it in, whether that will get me there. You can see that's probably where my drip is from, and that's definitely motor oil. So that's causing that. Now let's see, where does my lower, okay, so that's where my radiator hose, oh, and indeed there is a leak up there. Oh yeah, there it is. Do you see that drop of glycol? So that's what's happening. It's traveling down somehow and getting onto the exhaust over there. So those are the two leaks I'm able to see right now, is the lower rad hose and this front pan. Okay, for the lower rad, I took the clamp off, the hose clamp off, and reversed it. I remember now, the way I put the hose clamp on before, I couldn't really get a good, I couldn't get anything on it to really tighten it. And so by flipping it, I was able to position it such that I got it nice and tight. So let's see if that holds. Now I'm going to move on to the oil pan. I can't drop the oil pan. Sorry. I don't want to drop the whole oil pan because you have to take the exhaust off to do that, I think, if I remember correctly. So I'd rather just loosen it, try to get that nose piece that looks like it's popped out back in, and then tighten it back up. Let's get to it. Continuing on the troubleshooting path, I loosened up all the oil pan bolts. I retightened them. We'll see if that holds. I decided to change the oil. Realized that my oil pan plug, the gasket was all oval, like it was all I don't know if there's even supposed to be a gasket, but it's got like a rubber and metal gasket on it, and that was all kind of stretched out. So I'm gonna go find one of those. And then the coolant kept leaking. So I'm gonna go get a proper sized hose clamp. I think the one I have is too big. And then if that doesn't work, it might be the weep hole for the water pump, which I really hope it's not, because the water pump's not that old in this thing. And I'm reading online and there's stories about these parts store water pumps just dying after a few thousand miles. So I really, really hope that's not the case, but we'll find out. I went and got a gasket for the oil drain plug. I got the right filter, 51522. So the drain plug's holding so far, that's good. The gasket's helping. I couldn't really get that lower rad hose to stop leaking at first, even with the smaller hose clamp, and then I repositioned it. And then we'll see if she holds. I'm putting a witness cardboard under there. I'm gonna run it, turn it off. I gotta go to a play, and then I'll come back. I'm not in it or anything. It's Gavin's play. Definitely liking the thicker oil. Oil pressure was up at like over 40, which with the thinner stuff, it doesn't like to do that. So, just check the oil one more time. So, that's that. Oil capacity Jeep 4.0. Please be 6 quarts. I'm good. All right, so if the leaks come back, I will let you know, but we're just gonna assume that they're not for now, because I don't want them to. But the cardboard will tell us everything. Well, I just went to Gavin's play, so I've been gone for about 3 hours. Nothing. This is from the old stain on this side. So, it worked. Leak hunt complete. Boom, baby.